Probability presentation by Sam, Sophia, and Kiera. This is the common notation for probability. The first term is the probability of A. A is any event like picking a blue marble out of a hat, and it just denotes the probability between 0 and 1 that that event will occur. The second term is the probability of A intersect B, and that is the probability that both event A and event B will occur, like the probability a student takes statistics and calculus. The third term is the probability of A union B. That's the probability that either A or B or A and B occur, like the probability that a student will take calculus or statistics. The first equation here is the probability of A given B. That's the probability that A will occur, assuming that B already happened. The equation is the probability of the intersection of the two events divided by the probability of the assumed event. The second equation is the equation of the union, and that is equal to the probability of the first event plus the probability of the second event minus the intersection because you've already counted it twice. This is an example problem for the equations. Given that the probability of A is equal to 0.3, the probability of B given A is equal to 0.23, and the probability of the union of A and B is equal to 0.8, which of the following is the probability of B? So the first thing we want to do is write down everything we are given. So probability of A is equal to 0.3. The probability of B given A is equal to 0.23. And the probability of the union of A and B is equal to 0.8. And we want to make sure we know what we're looking for. So the probability of B is what we're trying to solve for. Now we want to look at the equations and the information we're given. So we know that the probability of B given A is equal to the probability of the intersection divided by the probability of the given event. And we know two of these variables. So when we plug in the numbers and do a little bit of algebra, we get that the probability of the intersection is equal to 0.069. And we're going to need that for the next piece. Now we're going to use the second equation. So the probability of the union of A and B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the intersection. And we know all but one of these variables, so we just plug in all of the numbers that we already solved for. And we get that the probability of B is equal to 0.569. Which is letter E in the multiple choice question. So the first misconception is the difference between the intersection and the union. This one is the intersection. So if you have a Venn diagram, it's the part in the middle. Where this one is the union. So it's the entirety of both circles. So no. The second misconception is that this line right here is a fraction. It's not, it's inside the parentheses. So this notation is talking about if you have a Venn diagram like this, and this is A, and that's B, is talking about the probability that if you pick something in B, you'll get something in A. So no. The final misconception is that the probability can be any number, like 17 or negative a half. The probability of any variable has to be greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. So no.